Hi, everyone. I don't normally live stream on Wednesdays or Wednesday evenings, but the secret lives of Mormon wives has taken over and we must discuss. Also, I am incredibly unhinged in my personal life, which usually makes for fantastic commentary. So, welcome to Bravo and Blaze with Jenny Blaze. I am your host, Jenny Blaze. We are live here on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and even Twitch. If you are joining us on Instagram, try to come over to YouTube where we have our interactive chat. Also, Instagram cuts us off after an hour of streaming. So if we're still going, our IG people would get cut off. So that's sad. And we don't want that to happen. But also, if you want to interact with our live chat, please join us here on YouTube because the streaming technology I'm using does not import all the chats from the various platforms we are streaming to. I will do my best to go through the chat periodically throughout the show. So feel free to leave your thoughts on what we're talking about, interact with one another, or ask a question. If you are listening to the audio podcast, please consider joining us on YouTube for visuals. Today, I don't have that many visuals, but the audio podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. As a reminder, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. We are just chatting and trying to have a good time. We may have some strong opinions, but there is no intent to harm anyone or anything. And we most certainly are not using this platform as an avenue to bully anyone. Think of this as group therapy. If you don't like what you hear, you can change the channel. If you are not following us on social media, make sure you do so. We are at Bravo and Blaze on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitch. We are at Jenny Blaze on YouTube. To help support Bravo and Blaze, please make sure to subscribe, follow, share, like, comment, and leave a 5-star rating. If you want to be included on the bonus content that we have every week on Patreon and for Instagram subscribers, please consider joining and becoming a subscriber. Every Monday, we're releasing a Patreon episode, and right now we are currently rewatching season 4 of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. In this week's episode, Lisa Barlow lost her $60,000 ring, and it's kind of, it is a little funny. I love Lisa Barlow, but the woman lost another ring, and this time it was $100,000. And apparently this happened. She's in New York right now for New York Fashion Week. Last night, Bravo had a screening of the season 5 premiere of Salt Lake City. They had a watch party in New York City as well as in Salt Lake City last night. Lisa was in New York. I guess she was dancing at an after party for a fashion show and the ring flew off. Queen. I don't even know what to say. I feel bad, but we got to do something about these rings, Lisa. We can't keep losing all our rings. But anyways, let's move on to the secret lives of Mormon wives. Oh boy. Oh boy. So this show is 8 episodes and it's streaming on Hulu. It was released on September 6th, 2024. So not even a week ago. And I'll read the show description. So what they have on Hulu is the scandalous world of a group of Mormon mom influencers implodes when they get caught in the midst of a swinging sex scandal that makes international headlines. Now their sisterhood is shook to its core. Faith, friendship, and reputations are all on the line. Will hashtag momtok be able to survive and continue to give the rule book a run for its money, or will this group fall from grace? Oh my God, this show. What's up, Catherine G? Catherine G binged it in one day. That is dedication because even I had to break it up into 2 days. But wow. Okay, we're going to go through each cast member according to this lovely pictograph that I got from the Real Moms of Bravo on Instagram. Shout out to them. Big shout out because I don't know if we'd be able to tell them apart just by saying their names. I don't know. Thank you, Real Moms of Bravo, for this. Okay. Before I go through my notes on each person, if you're in the chat, leave your thoughts and comments so I can read them after I go through mine, because I know that I am not the only one thinking some of these things. And I'm sure there's plenty more that others are thinking as well. Let's start with Taylor. Taylor is 30 years old. She started Momtok, and she is the one who's admitted to soft swinging on one of her TikTok lives, where she had over 60,000 people live streaming, and wound up getting a divorce, kept her distance from the Mom Talk group. This group basically has a hype house paid, I'm assuming, by Mom Talk. Is that like do they have an LLC established? Nobody is talking about the logistics of this, and it's bothering me. Like, who is paying for this house? They said nobody lives there, but they make content there. So that to me sounds like it's like some kind of hype house. But regardless, who is paying the bills for that house? I don't get it. I'm very confused. But Taylor, she's the one who started Mom Talk. So I'm just going to assume that she's the one who's taking care of this house. But she starts dating this new guy, Dakota, and she thinks she's pregnant, but winds up miscarrying. She gets arrested for domestic violence with Dakota, her new guy, and then comes back pregnant like 7 or 8 months later, all in the first episode. Like, the timeline of this show is wild. And I know the cast is going around doing their interviews. Of course, they went on the Vile Files. They've been on other shows as well, but they're talking about the timeline and how, like, it's kind of odd because Taylor is not pregnant. She just experienced a miscarriage in the first episode, but then at the end of the episode, she's like 7 or 8 months pregnant. So I guess when she got arrested, they like went back to casting, and I don't know. I want to know who is involved in the soft swinging. That's what I want to know. But Taylor and Dakota, they have a super, super toxic relationship. He cheated or lied or something. She doesn't trust him, but he still wants to get married. She doesn't. She does things like tell her parents he's moving in 2 minutes before he arrives. Her parents hate it. They're open about it. One thing I do like, which might not be a good thing about Dakota and Taylor, is that they are so comfortable being open about their toxicity to anyone who will listen. And for us, we should be grateful. Just saying. Let's see. Oh no, the audio is cutting? I hope not. Oh no. Let me see. Catherine G says the audio is good for me. Thank you. Let me try to get out. Oh, no. Okay. Let's move on to Demi. Demi is 30 years old. She is, I think, my favorite. She basically came out as the grand champion of a battle royale on the girls' trip with all of the Mom Talk ladies, and I'm here for that. Side note, apparently Demi is married to Angie Harrington's ex-husband. Angie Harrington, the one who's married to the Elf on the Shelf husband. What season was that? Season 3? Where she was a friend of, claimed that Lisa Barlow sabotaged her catering for her event. Very uncool. Don't like Angie Harrington at all. But I do feel like this explains some of Angie Harrington's cringy TikToks. Because apparently Angie wanted Demi on the show on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City before Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, but Demi didn't think she vibed with them or something along those lines. That's crazy to me. Can you imagine? First of all, I don't think I don't know, what Demi would probably be able to hold her own on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City if she joined. I just don't think I think she's right. I don't think that's her crew. And who would wanna hang out with their ex-husband or their husband's ex-wife? Ugh, no, thank you, especially Angie Harrington. Good lord. All right, let's move on to Jen, 25, Jen Affleck. She's married to Zach Affleck, who I would like to start a petition for to get a DNA test to confirm he is inbred because this man, whew, he's awful. I feel so bad for Jen. She is married to the worst human being on earth. He's awful. Like, I don't even want to go into how much I dislike him because I just don't think it's healthy for me. But I did see on Instagram, she gave a backstory of her family when she was in high school and how her father lost his job and they lost their house. So they moved away into like a friend's basement, but it was her senior year in high school, so she started to stay with a friend of hers, but she was still working till like midnight at the time. And some nights she would go to her friend's house to go to sleep, but the door would be locked. She felt bad waking people up, so she would just sleep in her car. This is the kind of person Jen Affleck is. And meanwhile, she's got this husband who is going to medical school, so he's not paying any bills. At least he's like going to school and pursuing something. That's fine. But she's had two babies and she's the sole provider, but he talks to her like she's not even a human being. It's so, so disgusting. Ugh, like I said, I don't even want to get into it because it's not healthy for me. But let's see. Oh, good. We have comments. Texan Haugen, did I say that right? He's the worst. Yes, Zach is the worst. Catherine G. Zach is awful. Taylor says, then that's not that far from J-Lo. Texan hypocrite doesn't even begin to cover it. I agree. She supports him. I hope he lets her help her mom finally too. Yo, okay, so apparently Jen also gave some more background. Jen's mother cleans the building where Zach's father is like an executive or something like that. Hogan, sorry, Texas Hogan. I said that wrong. What else did she say? It's just, I don't know. She also said that Zach's mom has given off some like passive aggressive type of behavior. And I'm just so disturbed by the whole Mormon community. Like, this week on my Patreon episode on Salt Lake City, they're talking about, or Heather Gay is talking about taking a death oath where, like, you swear you're not going to tell any secrets of this organization under penalty of death. Like, that is a cult. Please do not ever be a part of an organization where they make you make a death oath. Come on. This is wild, 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 wild. Texas Hogan also said she lied to her friends and told them that his family gave him that $2,500 for gambling. Yeah, so Jen is the provider. The girls go on a girls trip to Vegas. Zach won't let Jen go without him, so he goes and he's like expecting a bankroll. He's so excited. He's been waiting all week. I've been waiting all week. Ooh, I can't wait to gamble, which is against their religion. Okay. But it's like so awful. It's such a huge sin that Jen wound up accidentally at the Chippendales event and he's off gambling. $2,500 of her money. She could have got a nanny who doesn't look inbred for that amount of money instead of giving it to her inbred husband. I'm sorry, I had to say it. Also, Hulu might be mad at me because they posted a reel and it was the clip of Jen and Zach talking about, well, would you, like, what if we went to a Chippendales, concert or whatever? And he's like, well, I think it'd be pretty hard to raise 2 kids without a husband, implying that he's gonna divorce her if she goes to Chippendales, which was so disgusting. So I left a comment and I said, "Has anyone confirmed or has anyone made Zach Affleck take a DNA test to confirm he's inbred?" And they deleted the whole reel. Oopsies. Catherine says apparently he blew a large sum of money on gambling that his parents gave them for his schooling. So gross. This man is awful, 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 awful. I cannot stand him. Whew, I'm getting hot right now. I'm getting heated up thinking about this jerk. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to Jessie. Jessie is 32. She's also one of my faves. She gives me, and this is not one of the reasons why, but she does give me Sheena vibes a little bit. And I only say that mostly because she name dropped Sheena in an interview saying that they were friends, which made me laugh because that's such a like Sheena thing to do, I feel like. But Jessie seems like one of the more like quote unquote normal ones in this group. Like she's not part of the Mormon church. She owns a salon and hair extension business. So she's a big part of the community and even has some of the Real Housewives as some of her clients at her salon. She even said in an interview that Jen Shaw was in her back room on one day, like on the security cameras a few years ago. I don't know. I'm here for Jessie. And I also love that she was like, she wasn't trying to play the fence when it came to Whitney. We'll get to her. She's last. I'm saving that for last. But any thoughts on Jessie? Oh, I also like that she shared her plastic surgery with us. I guess she got her vagina redone because she called it meat curtains. They were hanging down about this far, and I don't know what that is all about, but I don't know. I feel like I need to know now. But good for her for sharing. I want to know about these things. But Texas Hogan said, same, she's brave. Oh, Danny, Gossip Girl. Hey, I saw you discussing one of my fave shows. Oh man, is this a good show or is it like so good it's bad? I don't know, but I can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Come ye sinners, come ye. What is it? Come ye saints and come ye sinners. Ha. Oh my gosh. I think they say hallelujah and they're like, listen up. Oh my God. It's like so provocative. Anyways, okay. Let's move on to Layla. I really like Layla. First of all, Layla is stunning. She is so hot. It's like unfair. But what's wild about Layla is that by age 22, she already had 2 kids, was married and divorced, but never in her life had an orgasm. And I find that to be so sad for her specifically, but also for all women. Like that should not be allowed. This is not okay. But luckily, Layla seems to have a really good attitude and personality despite this wild background where she seems like she's been oppressed in some ways. Um, I hope she never remarries or has any more kids if that's what she chooses to do, because I bet that'll lead her to being the most happy in her future. Like, oh my God, can you imagine having your kids already and being 22 and divorced and just starting your life? Like, I'm kind of jealous, I think. Am I? Oh my gosh. I am rooting for her big time. I need to see where things go with her. Oh, Texas Hogan said, I hope she took one of those toys home with her. Seriously, we kind of need an update now. Oh, Layla. Love her. Okay. Next one. Macy, 29. Macy is also, I have too many faves, I guess. She's one of my faves. First of all, she was pregnant at age 19. And I believe she said that her child's father died in a car accident. And that is so tragic and heartbreaking. And she's still a badass. She was a D1 tennis player and still continued on. She wound up getting married and having infertility issues, which led to the launch of her business, Baby Mama, which we get to see on the show. And Macy is probably the most forgiving towards the biggest villain on the show. So while it's kind of frustrating to see that, at the same time, it's also what I kind of love about her. Because you need to have that one person who's like just gives a little teensy bit of empathy sometimes, even like when we don't want to. Like with Vanderpump Rules, we need at least one person to have a tiny bit of empathy for Tom Sandoval, even though he doesn't really deserve it. But in for the sake of the world, like we need somebody, and I guess Schwartz played that part. Stupid words. Anyways. Let's see. Catherine G says Macy seems like the Dolores of the show. Oh, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. And I think, I hope she's not friends with Whitney again, but she may be. We'll see. All right, let's move. Oh, wait, let's see. Texas Hogan. The bad character has to have someone to relate to, though. So Macy is good at handling that. Absolutely. Okay. Michaela, 24. So Michaela was pregnant at age 16 with a 21-year-old who she wound up marrying, who wound up getting mad at her the night that they wound up being surprised at the Chippendale show when she's age 23. There are so many things wrong with the small amount of information I just said. First of all, isn't that illegal? Hello? She said her mother was a leader in the church, but according to Morgan P. Talks on Instagram today, she's no longer a practicing Mormon. I need to know more. Does that mean she was excommunicated? Was she disowned by her family? What does this mean for Michaela? I don't know, but I want to know. And what is up with her skin condition? Has she ever taken a DNA test? Just saying, I'm rooting for her too. I'm rooting for all of them, mostly, except for probably our last one. Before I move on, let's see. Catherine G said Macy is friends with Whitney. They did an interview with Zach Peter the other day. Oh no. Oh, they're friends? Bummer. Well, we'll see how that goes in season 2. Whitney is wild. Okay, let's move on to Whitney. She is the final person we're going to go through. Whitney is 30 years old. She's the ultimate villain. And she's in competition with the creator of Momtok, Taylor. Immediately in the first episode, you can see how jealous Whitney is of Taylor and how bad she wants to be the leader of this group. It's so transparent. It's so cringy. Whitney gossips so much, talks so much smack behind everyone's backs. But once Demi demolished her on the group trip, Whitney basically retreated. She passively aggressively removed herself from the group by leaving the group chat and not attending any of the other girls' events. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe nobody asked me why I left the group chat. Like, come on. She acts like a first grader. It's so embarrassing. And honey, your husband, your husband. He was only on the screen for 5 seconds, and I was like, no, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I guess this is what we're doing, Whitney. All right. Oh my gosh. Even like Whitney is so foul. She didn't even go to Macy's launch party for baby mama, and that was her only friend who would stick up for her. So for Whitney not to go to Macy's event was a huge fu in my eyes, at least. And since The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives has aired, Whitney has been very active on social media, even outing private conversations between her and Macy, which feels gross, very on brand for Whitney. Michaela even came to Macy's defense, saying she would never show their private messages. And I'm here for the like, I got your back, and like, this is not okay, but it sucks to know that Macy and Whitney are friends now. Ugh. Macy is too nice for Whitney. Whitney is awful. Whitney served a cake with her urine in it to her family. So gross. So gross. Okay, let's go to the chat. Canna Jean's skin condition is from her implants, I think. Oh, I didn't know she had implants. Taylor says, I need to know the tea with Whitney. I need to know the tea about Connor, her husband. Like, come on. He gossips way too well for my liking. Texas Hogan said Whitney is a 30-year-old brat who acts 13. I would even argue she acts younger than age 13. She is awful. Taylor are forever. Wait, Taylor is forever the main character. I can confirm this. Wait, is this Taylor? Okay. Catherine G said, love Macy calling out Whitney. Yes, me too. Texan Hogan. Demi is my favorite, very favorite just for that. Same. What else? Texas Hogan. I want the deets, but damn girl, stop with the crappy friend behavior. Yo, I know. Whitney, you're awful. Okay, so mom talk. I need to know, like, what is mom talk? How do we know if mom talk is going to survive if we don't know what mom talk is? Are they still posting together today? I wish someone would just take ownership of mom talk and define what it is so we can all just like live in peace. Will there be a season 2? There better be a season 2 because they left us with a huge cliffhanger where this girl Jenna apparently is the other woman that Dakota hooked up with, talks to Macy on the phone saying she's going to tell her everything. Jenna even posted on TikTok saying she was going to tell all. I mean, this is messy, messy as hell. I need to know from you all, like, is this what our future is on social media? Is this the beginning of a new genre of reality television that begins on social media? Because I'm kind of scared. If you look at this, the whole mom talk thing, this all originated from these Mormon wives, all individually starting their own TikToks, then coming together as a group, realizing that they have strength in numbers, getting even bigger, getting more exposure, having this internal scandal where Taylor leaks that. Was that intentional? Like, I feel like we need to hear more about that. They talked about it, but it was just like, yeah, I did it. Like, whatever. I feel like we need more information. Who was involved? Were these people involved? I don't know. How are they going to turn this around so quickly? Because apparently I think Taylor hasn't even seen the show yet because they didn't give screeners to any of the ladies before the show aired. Let's see, what do we got? Taylor. Bravo should have took this show. They would have done a reunion or something. Yeah, we do need a reunion. But I don't know. I don't know if reunions work in this situation if there's no set date to film season 2. Like, we might need this season 2 clearance, go, the thumbs up on that before we get a reunion. I don't know. What do you guys think? They can't bring a new season fast enough. Hopefully not if it's all about swinging. Popcorn, Danny Gossip Girl. Good questions. Catherine, we needed more than 8 episodes. Why did they stop? Why did they stop after that? And also, it sounded like that first episode was supposed to be the entire series. But then because Taylor got arrested, they like started filming again or something, or started casting again. It's kind of confusing, but oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm sure more is going to come out. I just had to get this off my chest, like a bonus episode. So I guess we didn't go a full hour. That's pretty good because we still have, I'm sure, more that'll come out. And we can talk about that on the next episode of Bravo and Blaze. I want to thank you all for being here. Make sure you subscribe, follow, share, like, leave a comment and 5-star rating for Bravo and Blaze on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Don't forget to follow on social media at Bravo and Blaze. Check out new episodes of Bravo and Blaze every Friday and Patreon on Mondays. Until next time, stay lit, y'all.